Recording in progress.
Hi, this is Matthew with Everybody Community. It's 8:30 a.m. Today is the 4th of January, 2024. We have a new year. I just want to make a comment as some kind of an epiphany, some realization that I had about the situation in Gaza and with Israel. Israel has recently bombed, although I'm just jumping to that assumption because Israel, what they've repeatedly done when there's a funeral in Palestine is harassed and beat up and tried to disrupt the people that are mourning maybe someone important in Palestine. And so the Israeli IDF would go in and just harass them and bother them and not let them mourn because this is kind of their approach. This is the mentality. And so it helps to understand the mentality of Israel. Now, these are not people that have the right to defend themselves. It's not about self-defense, and it never has been about self-defense. They're the invaders, and they invaded and displaced almost 1 million Palestinians from their homes in 1948 with the establishment of the country of Israel. And there was a lot of sentiment around that because of the Holocaust. And so there was a lot of things people were saying, but there are also extremely rich Zionists that were manipulating things like they do. So when we look at what happened with the bombing recently in Iran, where they're um, um, commemorating the death of Soleimani, 100 people 103 so far. People have been killed by a bomb that was placed there. This has Israel written all over it. So the key point that I wanted to make, and then I'll be finished here, is that if you have a homicidal maniac, sometimes the theory by psychologists, psychiatrists, or other people that are giving opinions about it is, oh, they wanted to be caught. I don't think it's about that. I don't think they necessarily want to be caught. I think maybe they want the end of the drama. Maybe they're tired. They've killed so many people, they've done this or that, but they don't feel guilty about that in general. What they do is they just persist until they get caught. And once they get caught, they can't persist anymore. But they have an ideology. They have a strong ideology that's driving them. And so when it comes to Israel and the genocide that they're committing and the apartheid that they've committed for so many years and the blatant, disrespect and abuse of the Palestinian people. And when the Palestinian people fight back, they push even harder with incredible arrogance. So there's kind of a group insanity. Now, we might say that Nazi Germany was like that, kind of a group insanity. Um, but we could say for sure there's the people that are supporting. You'll see them giggling and laughing, in certain YouTube clips where there's a guy saying, what do you think about the Palestinians? And there will be a young girl, a teenage girl, giggling and laughing, kill them all, kill them all. So this is an absolute incredible insanity. Now, when you have this ideology so strong and there's zero accountability, in fact, the support from America for so many years, giving them weapons and assisting them and helping them to commit genocide in Palestine, they don't know better. They don't have any accountability and they don't have any responsibility to what's right and just and fair. You want to talk about Judeo-Christian ethics? Doesn't exist there. So when you have an insane person like this, a homicidal maniac, it's not about wanting to be caught. It's not about jealousy. It's not about we have a right to defend ourselves. This is just an entire mentality of almost an entire nation, with the exception of Jewish Voice for Peace and other Jewish people around the world, and especially in Israel, that say, no, this is wrong. We shouldn't be killing all these people. We shouldn't be abusing all these people. But there's a huge number that are just, when the Palestinians have nothing but rocks to throw to defend themselves, and the Israelis sit on the hill in their chase lounges, and drinking whatever they're drinking and laughing and cheering when they see the bombs. It's about ideology. And it's about a homicidal maniac mentality. And this is why South Africa And dozens and dozens of nations around the world don't want to let this go on. And the only real solution is to completely disable and disarm. I'm not for killing anybody. I'm not for big punishment. I'm not for that. But what I'm for is accountability. So hopefully now, Israel has gotten used to being able to do anything they want to do, no matter how inhumane it is, and be able to just make up lies on the fly. Oh, we were defending ourselves, or those were terrorists, blah, blah, whatever. But with blowing up this, the funeral, putting a bomb there and killing over 100 people, the funeral inside of Iran, um, they're provoking Iran. And they also feel untouchable because they have been untouchable for so long. They've been completely untouchable. So why not continue? And if you have the ideology that we have the right to do that, it's like people, the Bible story, whether it's true or not, of what was it, Abraham is going to sacrifice his son and he's getting ready to kill his son for God because God told him. What kind of an insane ideology is that, to kill your own son? How absolutely homicidally crazy is that to do that? But that's an example of a religious ideology. And a lot of people will sacrifice themselves for a non-existent God, for a non-existent being. So this ideology that the Zionists have, and the people that follow that Zionist agenda, they'll do anything and they don't care. There's no conscience. And it's about that. They'll do anything. So if you have a rabid dog that's biting everybody and killing everybody, you got to put that dog down, or cage that dog, or whatever you need to do to stop that rabid wild dog from hurting anybody anymore. That's my opinion.